Hello friends, you know what this is. It's a Tokyo DisneySea all rides tier list. So we're going to look at every single ride in the greatest Disney park ever made, Tokyo DisneySea. We're going to look at the best rides, which are going to get that top S tier ranking, all the way down to the worst rides in the park, which are going to be at the bottom here at D. So let's get straight into it with one that's sort of super unique and sort of not unique at all. This is Tower of Terror. You're probably familiar with this ride if you've been to Disney parks in California, Florida, or Paris. It's that uppy, downy, droppy ride. However, Tokyo DisneySea's version does sprinkle a lot of that DisneySea magic in there. If you're not aware, Tokyo DisneySea is considered by most people to be the most highly themed, highly detailed theme park in the world. And Tower of Terror might be the best example of how DisneySea do things a bit extra. If you just look at the exterior of the ride, it's absolutely beautiful. Again, the small details, the small ornamentation that make this look like a real hotel. And then as soon as you step into the queue, you're being told this pretty in-depth story about this guy, Harrison Hightower, who owned the hotel, built the whole thing himself, but he would also go around the world collecting things in a pretty unscrupulous, not very nice nature, taking things as he saw fit. And one of these days, he took a cursed idol called Shiriki Otundu up to his private penthouse suite on the top floor, only for the elevator to plummet down to the ground and smash to pieces. And he was never seen again. So the storytelling is fantastic, and you might be thinking, but Jordan, it's a thrill ride. I don't care about the story, whatever. That uppy downy motion, the amazing views you get from the top, going into the dark, some cool special effects in the ride, an amazing special effect in the pre-show before you get on the ride. This thing is absolutely killer, and whilst I do wish the thrilling up and down part was a bit longer and had a bit more thrills to it, I can't not put this in the very top, I think. It's just so good at what it does. Also, if you visit from January to April most years, they do a more thrilling version. And when it's that version, it's definitely S tier. When it's the normal one, maybe A. This park is just so good. In any other park, this would be absolutely, definitely right at the top of the ranking. But it's DisneySea. There are definitely better rides in the park. You know what? S tier. S tier. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's fantastic. So from the top to the bottom, next we're looking at Turtle Talk. This is another thing that's in other Disney parks around the world. You go in a room, there's a big screen, and you can talk to Crush, the sea turtle from the Finding Nemo movies. This is entirely in Japanese, so if you're watching this, you probably don't speak fluent Japanese. And even if you do speak fluent Japanese, there are a million better things to do in this park. I'm sticking Turtle Talk right at the bottom. So I guess right there, we've kind of set ourselves up, right? We know what's at the top and what's at the bottom. Now we've got to fill in everything in between. And I think this next ride will be a great example of that, the electric railway. So one thing DisneySea does very well is transportation around the park. And between two specific areas of the park, American Waterfront and Port Discovery, there is this elevated electric tram system called the DisneySea Electric Railway. And whilst it is just basically getting you from point A to point B, this is DisneySea, so it gives you some amazing views. If you're on the waterfront side, you're going to see Tower of Terror, you're going to see Port Discovery, you're going to see the ocean. Sometimes you can even see Mount Fuji from here. If you have the park-facing side, you're going to see Mount Prometheus, the volcano. And I recently rode this during the nighttime show for the first time, and that was super cool. If you don't mind missing the show, just taking this tram past it while all these fireworks and stuff are going off is really neat. Having said all of that, I'm going to put it right in the middle at B. I do think these transport rides at DisneySea do offer a lot of amazing views and things, but I can't put it any higher than that. The next one is another transportation ride, the Tokyo DisneySea Transit Steamer Line. So this is, instead of being elevated above where all the guests are, this is actually below where all the guests are, through the water that connects most of the areas of DisneySea. It used to connect all of them until we built the new area, Fantasy Springs, which we will talk about later. But yes, while I just said that I can't really put the electric railway super high because it is just getting you from point A to point B, I am going to put the transit steamer pretty high because, again, this park is so gorgeous and so beautiful. And There's actually two types of transit steamer. There is one that is strictly transportation that will take you between Mediterranean Harbour and Lost River Delta. This is a really nice way to get from the front of the park to the back of the park and vice versa. Again, now that Fantasy Springs is way back there, if you'd want to rest your legs for a little bit and get some great views, it's definitely nice to do that. Having said that, I think the better ride is the round tour. So there's another station in American Waterfront, and if you board the boats there, they will take you around the entire park without stopping. And seeing the whole park from the water, getting these close-up views of things that you can't really see when you're walking around, and just being invited to sit down and spend a bit of time soaking up the ambience of this jaw-dropping place is pretty incredible. I'm not going to say it's up there with the best rides in the park, but I will stick the round tour at an A, and I will call the one-way trip a B tier. Next up is Toy Story Mania, another one that's in other Disney parks in America. This is basically a little vehicle that sticks you in front of a TV screen, you put your 3D glasses on, and you pull this little thing, and you shoot hoops and darts and all this stuff at these little mini games. Super fun for the whole family, everyone can enjoy it. However, it is just TV screens that are flat. It's not even like some other things we'll get to later where the screens kind of wrap around you. You really are just looking at a flat TV screen. Again, super fun for a game, but this ride sometimes gets like 2 or 3 hour long waits, so I can't recommend it for that. I'm gonna stick this in our currently unoccupied C tier. I think this is a C tier ride. I personally don't get that much out of sitting in front of a TV and pulling a bit of string. Some people do, and good for them, but not really me. And again, the long waits don't help as well. Next up, another transportation ride that actually doesn't take you anywhere, so another scenic ride, I suppose. The big city vehicles. These are just a few little cars that drive around the New York area of American Waterfront. They add a lot of life to this area, and they're super important for like the world building. You really don't have to ride them though. I do think it's fun to sit down and take a bit of time to enjoy the place, but let's put these, I'll put them in D. You can skip these, it's fine. Next up is something that you absolutely should not skip, the hidden gem of Tokyo DisneySea, Fortress Explorations. You've probably seen a lot of pictures and videos of the front of the volcano, and whilst your eyes are drawn to the enormous 200-foot volcano that has rocket boosters inside that shoot fire out of the top, this theme park is insane. There's also an entire castle fortress right in front of that you don't even focus on when you look at it, but that whole thing is a real castle that you can go inside, you can explore, and while some rooms don't have that much going on, others are just mind-blowing. There are places you can drive little ships around, there's a real working pendulum, a real working camera obscura, and to top it all off, the Chamber of Planets. When you walk in this room and hear the Gregorian chanting music, and you can turn these dials and watch this physical recreation of the solar system moving around. It's jaw-dropping. It's so good. I'm sticking it right at the top. I'm putting it right at the top in S tier. Fortress Explorations is incredible. Next up, Flounders Flying Fish Coaster. This is in the Little Mermaid themed area of the park called Mermaid Lagoon. This is a little kiddie coaster. It's great for a My First Coaster if you want to build some of the younger or older guests up, build up their courage a bit before they get onto the bigger thrill rides. This really does the job. Cute vehicles, cute music. It's all sunken into the ground, so you don't really get the feeling of being super high up. It's a great first coaster for anyone in your group. So I'm gonna stick this in C tier. It's a perfectly serviceable little family roller coaster. It's not trying to be anything more than that, and for what it is, it's fantastic. Another thing that really knows what it is in this Little Mermaid area of the park, Blowfish Balloon Race. They move up, they turn around a bit, and they come back down to the bottom. Just for me personally, if I'm going to a Disney park, especially one with rides as jaw-dropping as DisneySea, I don't want to be wasting my time with little things that spin around. If you have little kids, this could be something fun for them, or if the park's super busy and you just want to ride something that has a less than 30-minute wait, this might be a good thing to do, but I'm sticking it in D tier. Next up, the Magic Lamp Theatre. This is a 3D show with some live actors in Arabian Coast. It has a cool pre-show with this animatronic snake. You stick the 3D glasses on, you see Genie doing all this stuff. There are two kind of hard points on this. I wish it had like some really good magic tricks. It has some fun little gags and things, but nothing is like, wow, how did they do that? And the other thing is, it's entirely in Japanese. A lot of the charm of the show is really the live performers sort of riffing on the crowd and making jokes and things. And when all of that's just going straight over your head, there's only so much you can get out of the show. If you do want to just sit and rest your legs and watch the genie 3D stuff, then go for it, but it's probably not the best use of your time if you've only got one day at this park. I'm going to stick Magic Lamp Theatre in C tier. Mermaid Lagoon Theatre is a much more sad story because this was a fantastic show, a lovely show. You had Ariel as a trapeze artist, sort of swimming, flying above you, puppeteers controlling Sebastian and Flounder, a huge animatronic of King Triton. It was a really cool show. All in the round, this really unique custom-built theatre just for the show. And then 2020 happened. And it's been closed ever since. And you might think, Jordan, why are you putting things in this list that aren't even open, haven't been open for 5 years? Well, because I took these images directly from the attractions page of the official website, and the official website still lists it. So I'm gonna have to make a new tier, I think. I'm just gonna say, open it now, you cowards. And stick it in there, because I mean, what else can I do with it? Open it, please. It was a fantastic show. And it was constantly running, and everyone could enjoy it. Okay, next up is the second roller coaster of this park. The park only has 2 roller coasters, and neither of them are anywhere near the best rides in the park. This is Raging Spirits, which is in the Lost River Delta area of the park, with the Indiana Jones Adventure ride, which we will get to. So this continues that sort of excavation theme of Middle South America. It's got amazing theming, super cool. Fire on water, water on fire. I guess that works either way, doesn't it? It's fire on water, and it is water on fire. Incredible theming. Very short, smooth, almost boring roller coaster. It kind of goes up and pretty slow and a dip, pretty slow and a dip, pretty slow and a dip and a loop. And then the ride basically finishes. So again, this can be a really great my first looping coaster. It was my daughter's first looping coaster, and I'm so glad it was because she came off and she felt so great. Like, oh, is that it? That was great. I can do that. That was fine. That was fun. But outside of that context, it's probably pretty underwhelming for most people, and there are much better thrill rides on this list. This is one of the only rides that has a single rider line, so if you're happy to break your group up or you're visiting on your own anyway, that's worth keeping in mind. Raging Spirits and Indiana Jones are the only 2 rides in the entire resort that have a single rider line, so make use of that, especially on a busier day. It might get you on a few more rides. As for this tier list, I'm going to be putting Raging Spirits. Gosh, the theming's so great, but the theming's so great everything at DisneySea. Let's go with a B. I'm feeling a B. You get some cool views from the top as well. B. Next up is the Whirlpool. Easy peasy. This is a teacups ride, but even less exciting because you can't even spin it yourself. It just turns on its own. It's a little kiddie ride in the indoor Mermaid Lagoon area of the park. I'm going to put it into the D tier. Next up is Aquatopia. This is a super unique little filler ride. This was the first trackless ride ever designed. Pooh's Honey Hunt at Tokyo Disneyland opened first, but this was designed first. Anyway, some super nerdy trivia for you. So these vehicles have no track. They're remotely controlled, and you don't know which way they're going to go. It's super unpredictable. They're going to go forward, sometimes they go backwards, sometimes they spin around. There's a little cave that some of them go through, and it's a great little ride. It really adds so much to the area. It makes the whole area feel so alive and kinetic and exciting. Riding the actual ride itself is fine. It's silly. It's really great if you have a pretty big group and you can wave to all your friends who are like whizzing around. That's the most fun thing about this thing. But it's cool. It's some classic DisneySea action. I'm going to stick it straight into DisneySea. Oh, next we have the Electric Railway. I mean, going from Port Discovery to American Waterfront, I'm just going to put it with the other one in B tier. There's not really much difference to that. You're really just seeing the same things, but in a different order. And next up is another walkthrough, and it's another thing that I do consider a hidden gem. Maybe even more than Fortress Exploration. Quite a lot of people do know about Fortress Explorations, and it's right in front of you when you walk into the park. Not everybody finds Ariel's Playground. I think the name sort of sells it short, like, oh, it's a kid's playground, whatever, we don't need to go there. You do need to go there, or at least if you're a big fan of Little Mermaid or even just themed environments in general, this is a really great little area. There's loads of different mini areas inside the area for you to explore, the best of which is probably Ariel's grotto, where you can see the Prince Eric statue from the film. You can see all her gadgets and gizmos. And this whole area just has little things to interact with, little things to look at. It's really, really sweet. I really like this thing. I'm going to stick it in... Let's go B. Let's go B. Okay, next up, my personal favorite ride in the whole park. So you know it's getting an S tier. Sindbad's Storybook Voyage. This is a slow-moving boat ride which tells the story of Sinbad the adventurer and his little tiger sidekick Chandu. It's got music written by Alan Menken, who did all the music for Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Little Mermaid, etc., etc. So it's a gorgeous song that you listen to. These scenes are huge and so full of life with all these little animatronics. Chandu the tiger is adorable. You get huge animatronics that are really impressive. You get really small animatronics that are really impressive, and everything in between. I just adore this thing. And the best part of all, the worst thing about DisneySea is the crowds, and the wait times can get extremely long, even on off-peak days. Not on Sinbad, baby. Sinbad is always a 5-minute wait, like 10 tops. So yeah, straight into S tier. I think S stands for Sinbad, to be perfectly honest. Next up, Indiana Jones Adventure, another fantastic ride, jaw-dropping ride, one of the best rides ever made. This does come with a little caveat though, because I'm making this video for 2026, and right now, in December of 2025, Indiana Jones is closed. It's been closed since August, and we don't know when it's going to reopen. It's undergoing some very long scheduled maintenance, so it's not like it broke and they suddenly closed it or anything. This is all scheduled stuff. But there's no end date in sight, so I am going to stick it in S tier. It's a superb ride, but I don't know if we're going to be able to ride it this year. Hopefully we will, but if it is open and you're watching this, this is a fantastic thrill ride. It's like a bumpy car ride. It's not a roller coaster exactly, but some people would describe it as being pretty similar. You're kind of bumping around and just whizzing through these sets with giant snakes and skeletons falling on you and smoke rings being fired at you. And of course, it's Indiana Jones. You have the boulder tumbling towards you at the end. Oh, it's just so fun. It's like the best ever ghost train. I love this thing. Really hope it opens again soon. Jasmine's Flying Carpets is up next. This is a very similar ride to the old Dumbo ride. You know, just goes around in a circle. You can go up or you can go down. It's very, very pretty. I do wish it wasn't right next to Sinbad because I think it spoils the theme, but that's me getting super nerdy. You can ignore that. If you have little kids who want to ride a magic carpet, I guess they will, but I'm putting it in D. Again, I don't need to spend part of my DisneySea day going round in a circle. There are much more interesting things to do. And for this next ride, Jumping Jellyfish, I also don't want to spend my time going up and down. I know we did Tower of Terror and I put that in S tier, but that's got a lot of story and everything to it. Jumping Jellyfish literally, very, very slowly goes up and stops, and goes down and stops, and goes up and stops, and goes down and stops. D tier. D tier. I'm not going to waste my or your time talking any more about it than that. Venetian gondolas. This is a bit of what makes DisneySea so special. It's not the big thrill rides. It's not the rides that are based on Disney movies. This is what DisneySea was made for, is these romantic, authentic feeling experiences that this park has to offer. They've made this gorgeous recreation of Venice, and these Venetian gondolas invite you into that world to spend a bit of time in there, interact with Tokyo's amazing cast members, and the gondolas even come right out in front of the volcano, giving you gorgeous views of the whole harbor. I'm sticking this in A tier because the transit steamer is looking a little lonely, and I really do think it belongs there. Next up is probably the spinny ride that I like the most in the park. This is Scuttle Scooters. It has a bit more thrill to it, a little bit more of a punch to it than the other ones. It's outdoors and it's right on the water, so you do get some nice views as well. The seats turn and you're sometimes going backwards, sometimes going forwards. Sometimes you're face to face with complete strangers, which is really awkward, but just to sort of punctuate that I do think this is better than the other spinny rides, I'm gonna stick this in a C tier because I think it's pretty fun. Oh, now we're in Mysterious Island, my favorite area of the park. Oh, this area is just incredible. Based on the novels of Jules Verne and the movies that were inspired by those novels, this is 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And this is a super unique ride. It's really, really special. You get into this tiny little submarine, which is a bit cramped and is a bit uncomfortable. But you get down, you have this little joystick and you can control a light that's shining around these really immersive environments. There's bubbles floating through the window that make you feel like you really are underwater. You get attacked by a giant squid and discover an underwater civilization. It's not as exciting as I'm probably making it sound right now. None of the animatronic figures are like really sophisticated or really super impressive or anything. The sets are very, very cool, but it's obviously not one of like the highest budget rides in the park. Having said that, I do think it's worth trying because it's unlike anything you will do anywhere else. And I'm gonna stick it in B. You get a B today, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Right next to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, inside the volcano in the center of the park is a ride, Journey to the Center of the Earth. And this is really the magnum opus of the park. As incredible as other rides in this park are, this is clearly the one that they were like, this has to be spectacular. This is going inside the central figurehead of the entire park. And whew, they delivered. They delivered. This ride is really everything amazing about a good Disney ride. You do get some thrills going pretty speedy, you get a great little airtime hill outside, but the thrill portion, just like Tower of Terror, is not super long, and it's really not the point of the ride. It's a story. It's a storytelling experience. It's an immersive adventure for you. And it starts as soon as you get in the queue and you're seeing these drill marks in the walls. You're totally immersed in this world. You take the Terravator thousands of miles underground and see this incredible working station with all these hydraulics and things moving. You get into the vehicle and you discover singing crystals. You discover a bioluminescent forest. You find some eggs, pretty big eggs. Wonder what laid those. It's probably nothing. And then you see the endless underwater lake, and suddenly lightning zaps near the vehicle, boom! And then you see fire, whoo! And then you see a giant lava monster. The eggs were important, I told you they were. And you zoom out of the side. This ride is phenomenal. Phenomenal. Don't miss. Do not miss this ride. Check the website before you come. Go to the attractions page, go all the way to the bottom, check temporary closure. You'll probably see Mermaid Lagoon Theatre and Indiana Jones at the top there. Make sure Journey to the Center of the Earth is not closed when you visit because you have to ride this thing S tier all the way. Whew. That's actually making me question the other S tier things that maybe they should be lower because Journey's just that damn good. Okay, next up, our last small spinny little thing, Caravan Carousel. It's a carousel. It plays the Aladdin music. It is double-decker. You do get some cool views of Arabian Coast up there, but it's still a carousel. I'm sticking it in D tier. Although, again, this and Scuttle Scooters are the two little spinny rides that I like and ride the most. Next up, Nemo and Friends Sea Rider. This is a simulator type ride. It's a very big simulator. If you've done Star Tours in other parks, or at Tokyo Disneyland next door, that's a lot smaller. This is essentially the same thing, but a lot bigger. But they don't really do much with that bigger system. This used to be a totally different ride, and they changed it to a Finding Nemo one, and it just doesn't really have any thrills. It doesn't really have the peril. It's cute, it's nice. If, you know, it's a 20-minute wait, maybe go and do it, but I can't recommend this one very much. I'm gonna stick it in C tier. Putting it next to Toy Story Mania feels right. I think I see those as about the same way. Oh, next is the Leonardo Challenge. This is a thing you can do at Fortress Explorations. It's like a little scavenger hunt game thing. They have started doing it in English now. It was only in Japanese before, but I don't think you really need to do this. I don't think it adds much to the Fortress. I'll stick it in C. I think just go to the Fortress and explore it. You don't need a little game. It's almost distracting in a way. Just go there and soak yourself up in it all because it's really nice already. Soaring, Fantastic Flight. Another one you may be familiar with if you've been to Shanghai or the American Disney parks. This is another simulator, but it's very, very different. There's this huge domed screen in front of you. You raise up, your legs are sort of dangling, and it's a very slow-moving, sort of hang glider-like experience going over all these different places around the world. Everyone in the family loves soaring. It's great for little kids. My grandparents love this ride. That's how calm and relaxing and sort of majestic it is. Here it has a little bit of that extra DisneySea shine to it as well. The actual ride is almost identical to the others, but the pre-show and the building and the queue and everything do add a bit of that DisneySea storytelling and detail. I'm gonna stick it in A tier. Every time I ride this ride, I think I should really ride Soaring more often. It's very, very good. It gets one of the longest waits in the park, so be prepared for that, but if you can get on it, I do recommend Soaring. It's very cool. Oh, we have the transit steamer again. I guess this is from, yeah, one of the one ways going the other way. I don't know why they list them as separate things. Next up, Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey. This is the Frozen ride, based on the Frozen movies. The sort of main attraction of the Fantasy Springs edition, which brought 4 new rides to the park in 2024, based on Rapunzel, Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and Frozen. This was sort of the biggest, most impressive one. It's very, very cool, taking you through this story. It really comes at it with a very mature take, which some people really like, and some people would maybe prefer something a bit more fun and a bit more lighthearted. This really does take you through the story of these 2 sisters who one of them is pushing the other one away because she doesn't want to hurt her, and you see the pain that causes her sister. It's kind of deep and a little heavy, but that does make it conjure up some strong feelings in your chest. Great animatronics, some really cool sets, some great special effects, and just this modern boat ride where the track can do these crazy things. You're going forwards, then you're going backwards, and there's no big drops or anything. It's really not a thrill ride at all in the slightest. My wife won't even do like small drop things, and she likes this ride, so don't let any of that put you off. It's a great retelling of the film. It's really, really special. I'm gonna stick it in S again. It's a little crowded up there, but that's where I think it belongs. It has to, right? I have to say, over the year and a half, I've sort of, when I first wrote it and it was brand new, I was like, oh my God, this is incredible. And now I'm like getting a little used to it. Like, maybe I'll stick it in A. Is that controversial? Is that controversial to put it in A next to Soaring and the gondolas? There's such a big gap between the amazing rides in this park and the not so amazing ones. No, she has to be an S. She has to be S tier. Come on. People are traveling around the world to do that thing. Next up, Rapunzel's Lantern Festival. This is the other boat ride that was added for Fantasy Springs. Like I just said, Frozen was like the big one. That's clearly where a lot of the budget went. Rapunzel is very, very short. There's really not much to it. It doesn't tell a story, really. But what it does do is it takes you on this lovely little outside meander where you see Rapunzel up in the tower. And then you go inside, you see a couple of other scenes. There's really not much to it. But then you see the lantern scene and you hear that beautiful song and you see them both sat in the boat and there's lanterns all around you. Oh, I'm getting chills just talking about it. They nailed that scene. They nailed that scene, and that's all this ride really needed to be. And speaking of that's all it needed to be, I think it does go in a B tier for me. It's underwhelming. Taper your expectations. Don't expect like a full drawn out story of the whole film. It's not. It's the lantern scene. But it's that done very, very nicely. Sticking in Fantasy Springs, Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure. This is another simulator ride, but it is a little different because if you've ridden Spider-Man or Transformers at the Universal Studios parks, this is more like that style where it's not one screen you're looking at the whole time. There's a screen and then you'll go to another screen and you go to another screen and the vehicle is physically moving through this story. This thing is super long. It takes you on all these different facets of Peter Pan. You get to see him fighting Captain Hook. You see the Lost Boys hideout. You fly over London, fly over Neverland. It has so much to it. It kind of ticks every box for what you would want from a Peter Pan ride. I do wish there was more physicality. You know, speaking of the Spider-Man ride, that has like real fire and physical props that move a bit more than this. This really doesn't have much physicality to it, but it's a great story told really nicely, and it's another ride that, especially in the evenings, can get shorter waits than everything else. I think this is a solid A tier. I'm putting it next to Soaring. That feels very, very nice for me. And last one, you know, I said that Frozen was the sort of big ride of Fantasy Springs. But really, the star of the show was Fairy Tinkerbell's Busy Buggies. The fairy ride with no fairies in it. Yes, they built a fairy ride. They didn't put any fairies in it, but they did put a mouse in there. The mouse's name is Cheese, and we love cheese. So I'm going to have to add a new tier for this one as well. We're going to call it Cheese. It's not at the bottom, right at the top. Cheese! Cheese the mouse. In all seriousness, this is a really, really short, really tiny ride. You probably don't want to spend your time on it, but the mouse is really cute. So actually everyone should ride it. So there you have it. There's our tier list. Every single ride and attraction at Tokyo DisneySea. If you're visiting in 2026 and you have some more questions, please do check out my Patreon. You can support me to make these videos. Thank you very much. And I can also message you anytime you want if you're in the top tier and give you advice on your trip. Make sure that your trip to Tokyo Disney is stress-free and full of magic. If not, a subscribe will also be lovely. Thank you so much for that. Leave comments telling me how wrong I am, otherwise this isn't really a tier list video. And why don't you check out this video? Go on, go on. You just watched half an hour about DisneySea. You're gonna love this. Look at it. Look.